Coming up on the April 9th edition of Sports Extra, it was an emotional Sunday in Chapel Hill as Tar Heels celebrated the life of Woody Durham.
The Diamond Heels took their talents to South Beach for a Sunshine State series.
And the women's lacrosse team was carving up the cards in a rainy Kenan Stadium. All that and so much more, Sports Extra starts
right now.
From the University of North Carolina School of Media and Journalism, covering the full range of Tar Heel athletics. This is Sports Extra.
Rainy weekend couldn't wash away lots of Tar Heel action. Welcome to Sports Extra. I'm Bailey Ingalls.
And I'm Paul Beam. But before we can get to that, the Carolina community came together on Sunday to honor one of its most beloved members. You probably have many of his iconic calls ingrained in your memory without even knowing it. Following his passing, it was friends and family's turn to speak about Woody Durham. Just 1 month and 1 day following the passing of Woody Durham, the Carolina family came together at Carmichael Auditorium to celebrate the legendary broadcaster's life. Several people gave speeches recalling their favorite memories of Woody, including Governor Roy Cooper, ACC Commissioner John Swofford, former Carolina forward Eric Montross, and Woody's son Wes. The event concluded with an emotional rendition of James Taylor's Carolina in My Mind. Carolina fans everywhere will miss you, Woody.
While you remember the voice of the Tar Heels, we're also looking forward to future faces of the UNC basketball team. UNC signees Kobe White and Nasir Little both took part in the Jordan Brand Classic this Sunday and couldn't help but shine. White stole the show early with this tomahawk jam. He put up 21 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, and 4 steals on the night. But the best player on the team was easily Nas Little. He asserted himself late, engaging in a heated one-on-one with Duke's Cameron Reddish. Get that junk out of here! And you can't show a Nas Little highlight without showing a poster. Little ended the night with 24 points, 6 boards, 1 assist, and a co-MVP trophy. Nasir Little is now the third Tar Heel in Carolina basketball history to be named the MVP of both the McDonald's All-American Game and the Jordan Brand Classic. The only other players to do that? Harrison Barnes and James Michael McAdoo. I'd say that's some pretty good company.
The Diamond Heels traveled to the Sunshine State to take on the U Friday evening for Game 1 of a 3-game set. The Heels opened up the second inning by scoring 2 runs to set an early tone, but Miami would not go quietly. The Heels and the Canes went back and forth, sending the game to extra innings, and that's when Josh Ladowski decided to go ham. He went 2 for 3 at the plate and knocked in 2 runners while scoring 1 himself in extra innings. The Heels put up 4 runs in the top of the 12th, Ladowski being responsible for 2 of them. Miami didn't answer. The Heels win 8-4. In Game 2, with the score tied at 3 in the top of the 4th, Michael Bush hits this 3-run double to make the score 6-3 Carolina. Miami would respond, but in the top of the 6th, Brandon Martirano hits a triple, sending 1 runner in and giving the Heels a 2-run lead. In the final 2 innings, Cooper Criswell took over, recording 13, count them, 13 strikeouts to seal the Carolina victory and giving the Heels the series win. In the third game of the series, the Heels couldn't finish off the Canes. Carolina started strong, going up 3-1 in the second. The 5th inning is when the action happened. A hit by Brandon Riley to right field brought in both Michael Bush and Kyle Datris to put the Heels up 5-1. In the bottom of the 5th, though, Miami fought back with 6 runs to take a 7-5 lead. And while I guess the Miami manager had some words with Mother Nature, because due to weather, the game was called off in the middle of the 6th inning, giving the Hurricanes the win. Despite the downpour, it was another big series win for the Diamond Heels as they look to sustain their recent momentum. And here to tell us more is baseball analyst Michael Coe. Michael, what stood out to you against Miami?
Paul, I was one of many Heels fans who probably did a double take when looking at the Game 2 box score, and let me tell you why. Things weren't looking good for the pitching staff early on in the second game of the series. Austin Bergner had gotten knocked around, and Carolina was forced to go to the pen early. Little did the Heels know that Cooper Criswell was about to uncork an outing for the ages. Now just take a look at this stat. Criswell threw 5 2/3 innings of 1-run ball, which is impressive enough, but he struck out 13 men in the process. Count it. 17 outs, 13 strikeouts. To put that in perspective, if Criswell had kept up that rate for 9 innings, he would have struck out 21 batters. Pretty impressive. and the Heels will need to be on their A game in the coming days. After a midweek game against Appalachian State, Carolina will travel to Charlottesville for a big series against Virginia in the South's oldest rivalry. And after that, just a regular old conference game against 4th-ranked NC State at the DBAP. Now, the game against State will be huge, as Carolina is only 2-4 against teams currently ranked in the top 25. However, as I said, the game is at the DBAP, and UNC is 2-0 in neutral site games this year. It will be an exciting one for sure.
I'm sure the stadium will be rocking for that one. That's baseball analyst Michael Coe in studio. Thanks, Michael.
Baseball games can last a really long time. Game 1 against Miami went nearly 5 hours. But as Cambria Haro tells us, there's one Carolina player you can usually count on for between-inning entertainment.
If you looked up UNC baseball on YouTube, you most likely came across this video.
It's huge. You want to start playing your best baseball.
That's Taylor Sugg, also known as the dancing guy on the baseball team. For Sugg, dancing is more than just a hobby.
For the most part, I like it because it's just showing people that baseball is still fun. It's not all just a waiting game.
Baseball is sometimes slow-paced, so Sugg looks up to professional players for inspiration about how to keep the sport entertaining.
Odell Beckham Jr., he has one of the biggest personalities in NFL. It just shows that he's one of the best athletes, but also he learns to have a little bit of fun.
That video went viral almost 2 years ago, but Sugg is still recognized for his dancing all over social media, including Dwight Howard's Twitter last March.
Well, I was kind of hyped up at first because, it's like Dwight Howard. But then I was like, if this is really going to happen, I'm going to have to beat him. It's got to go down. He doesn't want us to work.
Sugg's favorite dance move is hitting the folk, but his favorite pitch? His curveball. Some would say it dances too.
My curveball has a personality of its own. It tends to disorient batters and causes a little confusion whenever they guess which pitch to look for next.
So I decided it was about time I learned how to throw a curve.
You want to look at the bottom horseshoe. Put your middle finger exactly on the lace and your thumb on the opposite lace. And this one just kind of chills just on the ball. It's just there for comfort.
I didn't quite get it at first. But after some time, I got the hang of it. And then I heard the words that I will never forget.
Okay. All right.
Did it curve at all?
That might have been better than mine.
Maybe I should take a stab at trying out for the team next year. I'll just have to learn some dance moves first. In Chapel Hill, I'm Cambria Haro reporting.
Cambria hopes to make her season debut in the near future. She says, "At me, Coach Fox."
The #1 ranked women's tennis team continued its dominance this weekend. Carolina visited Notre Dame on Friday, sweeping the singles matches for a 6-1 win. The Tar Heels dropped the doubles point for only the 3rd time in 21 matches this spring, but it didn't matter. The women improved to 5-0 in away matches this season. On Sunday, the storyline was nearly identical. The Lady Heels took a commanding lead early in the day and never looked back. They beat Louisville 6-1, losing only one singles match. The Heels moved to 20-2 overall and 9-1 in ACC play. And fun fact, Alexa Graham is undefeated in 21 straight duels matches.
Carolina men's tennis hosted Louisville on a sunny Friday afternoon at the Cone Kenfield Tennis Center. The Heels started on fire, snagging the doubles points with wins from courts 1 and 2, all because here with Bloomberg and Kelly. Freshman Matt Kiger grabbed the first dub on court 5 with beautiful shots like this one right here. UNC secured the victory on all other courts except for court 6. Final score is 6-1, and Carolina is now ranked number 6 in the nation. Against Boston College, the number 5 Tar Heels dominated their matches by easily winning the doubles point and taking 5 of 6 singles points. Second-ranked William Bloomberg took just sets to earn his win, and Carolina rolled over Boston College, who's still looking for its first conference win. The Heels will be back in action this weekend against Georgia Tech and Clemson in Chapel Hill.
Now, while football isn't in season, the efforts to gain more recognition for the program never cease. This past football season, the athletics department announced it would be doing a massive overhaul of the seating in Keenan Memorial Stadium. Caleb Watkins has our update.
Carolina blue skies, Carolina blue jerseys, and now Carolina blue seats. Keenan Stadium is adding 34 to 35,000 chairbacks to the stadium, excluding the student section, giving it a more tasteful look, such as the Blue Zone. The Heels are coming off a challenging season on the field, and the attendance reflected it, with nearly a fifth of the stadium empty on most game days.
You can't rely on the on-field product to draw fans. We can't control when there's a major injury on the field, but we can control, better parking or better concessions or those kind of things.
The transition to the chairbacks will shrink the capacity of the stadium by nearly 10,000 seats.
I actually think if you draw in more fans to a smaller venue, you can actually make more money than you can having all these empty seats, and then you constantly have to do price promotions to get the building full, whereas now you don't have to constantly discount prices to hopefully fill up the building.
The glaring issue that the chairbacks won't fix is student attendance.
I heard that there would be sections in the student section being taken out, so honestly, with the implementation of the seatbacks, I feel that it'll hurt student attendance.
The project is hopeful to be done sometime during the summer before next season. I'm Caleb Watkins from Kenan Stadium, the home of the UNC football team, reporting.
Those bleachers were always a bit uncomfortable. Let's hope these new seats are an improvement.
Redbirds came calling in Kenan Stadium this weekend.
But it was the Cardinals who were seeing red in the end. Dun, dun, dun.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere will bring us wireless emergency alerts. With a unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know, wherever you are.
Well, Thomas, you've got prediabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have prediabetes. Big time.
I adopted Bento in 2010 from a shelter. As it turns out, we have very similar personalities. And this cat makes me make art because he's always motivating me to take pictures of him, to draw pictures of him. He just is motivating artistically. It's just that simple. Well, he's my best friend, but a lot of people know him as Keyboard Cat.
Morning, Gary. We are GetSchooled.com. You want a college education, don't you? Gary, financial aid forms. Biology homework, G. What? Picking a college, man. You and us go together like tacos and Tuesday. And I love tacos.
It's me, Artie. Come see what I collected from the Creative Galaxy in my idea box.
Transform your world.
Will you help me make art?
Each one of our journeys keeps us young. Before you throw it away,
Hey, I have an idea.
think outside the box.
We'll never get older. Each one Go be amazing!
Give your cardboard box another life. Recycle.
Hallelujah, it was rain and goals in Kenan Stadium this weekend as the women's lacrosse team shut down Louisville. Katie Hogue opened the scoring and didn't stop, putting away 5 for a career high. First-year Jamie Ortega was next to score, kicking off a dominating performance with 3 goals and 3 assists. The Heels continued the onslaught into the second half, scoring 3 goals in the first 2.5 minutes. Louisville tried to answer, but 2 more goals from Hogue put it away. Heels win by 10. This Saturday, the Heels will look for a similar result against number 18 Syracuse.
The men's lacrosse team was back in Kenan Stadium this weekend trying to halt a 5-game losing streak to keep its NCAA tournament hopes alive. The Heels had no answer for Virginia in the first half as the Cavs built a 9-4 lead by halftime. The Heels came out in the third period trying to gain some ground with goals by Matt Gavin and William Perry. The Heels brought the deficit to just 3, but the lead Virginia had proved to be insurmountable. The Heels would get no closer as the Cavaliers take the win 15-12. The Heels drop their 6th straight and fall to 6-6 for the year.
UNC Track and Field traveled to Durham on Friday afternoon to take part in the 3rd annual Battle of the Blues featuring Duke and Michigan. The day saw several UNC athletes set records. Marcus Craw blitzed through his debut meet, winning the 110-meter hurdles. Draven Christ took first in the men's high jump, and Anna Kiefer set a new ACC season high in the long jump. Dontavian Smith set a personal best in the men's 100-meter dash with a time of 10:48. But the highlight of the day, though, came in the women's 100-meter dash as Brianna Duncan became the fastest woman in UNC history with a blazing time of 11:35. Duncan broke the 100-meter school record previously held by Kendra Mackey. The original record of 11.37 seconds, set in 1991, stood for nearly 3 decades before Duncan took it down Friday afternoon. By breaking the record, Duncan becomes the undisputed fastest woman in UNC history. Her time not only ranks at the top of UNC's leaderboard, but it is also the second fastest time run in the ACC this season, top 10 in the East region, and top 20 in the nation.
A year's worth of hard work was put to its test this past week for the Carolina dance team as the ladies traveled to Daytona Beach to represent Chapel Hill in the NDA College Nationals competition. After scoring in the top 12 on the first day of competition, the Tar Heels had a chance to perform one more time to try to place first in the Jazz competition. Day 2 brought unprecedented success for the Heels as they placed 9th in the competition with a score of 9.077, only 0.7 of a point less than first place Texas Tech. This team will pick back up in August, performing at Carolina home football games. The dance team members aren't the only ones getting their groove on. A couple of students on campus find a lot of meaning in its dance moves. We now go live to Woolen Gym and our Mallory Marks, who has more. Mallory?
Bailey, the good thing for people like you and me who might not have any previous dance experience, there's another dance team here at UNC that might be the right fit. All it takes is rhythm and maybe a little bit of Latin flair.
The rhythm of Latin music is enough to get just about anyone up on their feet and moving to the beat. One group of UNC students is adept at dancing everything from the bachata to salsa.
Kiriko has helped me get more in touch with my Hispanic heritage, and it's fun and a good way to express myself.
Students from all backgrounds are welcome to join the Premier Latin Dance Team.
So a majority of the team is Latino or Latina, but they don't exclude anybody else, and I think it's really great because we have such a diverse group of people performing together and getting to know each other.
Co-director Thomas Thielen sees Kiriko as a way to teach others about something that's very important to him.
I love people who want to learn more about culture and are genuinely interested in it. We kind of just want to spread our culture and kind of show people a little taste of what we do in our home countries.
The diversity of the group allows everyone to learn about the cultures of the people who surround them, no matter what background they come from.
It's multiple different cultures. Yes, we learn a majority of Latin culture, but also they learn about us and stuff.
But if anything, Kiriko serves as a place where those who are Latino and Latina can come together and have fun doing something they all hold in their hearts.
It makes us feel at home too, because it's kind of a little piece from home that we don't have.
But does having Latin blood make it any easier to step to the salsa?
I think Latin dance transcends any one ethnicity, and I think anyone can pick it up. I think anyone can appreciate it.
So I decided to put Ruiz's hypothesis to the test. I'll let you decide whether she was right.
You're going to turn on the 5, 6, 7.
Kiriko holds tryouts every semester, so if you think you have what it takes, come salsa your way on down here to Woolen. Back to you, Bailey.
That's Mallory Marks live from the dance studio. Thanks, Mallory. But Paul, I'd really like to see you perform these dance moves.
Don't tempt me, Bailey. I own the dance floor. Have you never seen the YouTube clips from 2016 and the second round game against Providence? It's worth a watch. Combining hours on the links with hours in front of a camera?
We'll tell you about one Tar Heel with a unique double life, next on Sports Extra.
Pants peanut butter? A big screen television? You haven't even bought a sofa yet. A motorcycle? When your father finds out, he's gonna flip his shoes with 2 buckles? What do you even need 2 buckles for? Mr. Big Shot, buying whiskey shots for everybody in the bar. From the looks of it, I'd say nobody even remembers. Feed the pig.
Hey, did you know that 2.4 million loving cats and dogs in shelters and rescues need our help to find a home? Go to theshelterpetproject.org and search your local shelters and rescues. Go for a cuddle with your next best friend. Adopt.
As a parent, I think it's tragic that 1 in 5 children struggles with hunger right here in America. But there is hope. Visit feedingamerica.org to help. Together we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. You're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
The softball team was looking to right the ship Friday night against Virginia Tech after suffering 3 straight losses. The Heels struggled to muster hits and trailed 1-0 through the first 5 innings of Game 1. UNC woke up in the 6th inning with this leadoff double by Christina Burkhart. Berlin Delamora collected an RBI to tie the score before Sierra Parkinson hit that dinger. A clutch RBI to right field to give the Heels a 2-1 lead. Those 2 runs would prove to be enough behind stellar pitching of Brittany Pickett, who held the Hokies to 1 run with 7 strikeouts, giving the Heels a 2-1 win. Game 2 started out the same way with the Hokies striking first, but UNC quickly tied up the game. In the 2nd inning with Brittany West and Haley Cole on base after a pair of hits, West stole home to tie the game. You'll see that right there. The Heels scored 5 more runs that inning to go ahead 6-1. Keani Ramsey hit her first collegiate home run and the team's first grand slam of the season to give the Heels a 10-2 lead. They defeat the Hokies in 5 innings by mercy rule. The Heels looked to break out the broom Sunday, but the Hokies were hot out of the gate. After Tech tied the game at 2 with a home run, both teams went cold. Fast forward, bottom of the 8th, Hokies up 1. Keani Ramsey beats the throw, putting the tying run on base. She would come around to score along with 1 more with the walk-off single from Sierra Parkinson. Heels sweep the series with a 4-3 dub in Game 3.
It's kind of foggy, but I was really excited. I just wanted to do something good for my teammates. Being a freshman, I feel like I wanted to pull some weight for them and do it for them. So.
The softball team is back in action tomorrow night against Longwood.
So let's talk some Wait, hold on. This just in. Scientists have detected a major tremor along California's San Andreas Fault. The cause? Carolina men's golf team. A first-place victory at the Western Intercollegiate Invitational gave Carolina its 2nd win of the season, marking the first time the team has won multiple events in a season in 4 years. The Heels took home the trophy with a final score of 1,036 strokes, 10 fewer strokes than second-place Cal. Ben Griffin placed 5th in individual competition to lead the Heels.
The women's golf team didn't have to go quite as far this weekend as the Heels played in the Bryan National Collegiate Tournament hosted by Wake Forest University. The Heels finished tied for 3rd on Saturday. UNC's Kelly Whaley and Ava Bergner posted a score of 68 in the 2nd round, tied for the lowest by any individual player in the tournament. Despite losing a 1-stroke lead late, the 3rd place finish is still the team's best placement since 2011. Kelly Whaley finished tied for 5th in the singles competition, and Brianna Gwen finished tied for 21st. She posts low scores on the golf course, and the camera really likes her. Olivia Stafford looks into the double life of the brand new member on the women's golf team.
Being a competitive college athlete has its challenges. So does being an international student in a distant country.
I'm trying to keep my priorities pretty straight. So school is obviously number 1, and then right after that is golf. And everything else sometimes has to wait.
On top of those 2 challenges, freshman golfer Ava Bergner has a modeling career.
If I have the chance to model, I will do so.
For Ava, golf and modeling go hand in hand.
It both started together. So a manager at our golf club is my assistant coach's husband, and he does modeling for a company that does golf bands, and they were looking for a female model, so that's what got me started.
But it doesn't come without challenges of its own.
They hated my tan lines. They asked me to try to avoid getting tan, which obviously doesn't work playing golf in summer.
Another challenge for Ava is looking out for her amateur status.
I definitely can't take money for any modeling that has to do with golf, so I need to be really careful. I've talked to compliance before. I can't really mention brands I work for on my Instagram, on my social media.
Ava's coach says that she has adapted to college life with ease.
I think she's done extremely well as a freshman, but then to add to that, being from Germany, I think is even more difficult to be coming from, an international student and then coming over here, but she has handled it extremely well.
Bergner would like to eventually play in the LPGA, but if that doesn't pan out, she already has a different career in the works. I'm Olivia Stafford, reporting.
Bergner and the golf team will be back in action at the ACC Championships starting April 21st. Better have your cameras ready.
Boom! Here comes the boom! Ready or not!
Muggles who can play, but who keeps them all playing within the rules? That's coming up next.
Up to 40% of businesses never recover after experiencing a major disaster. Make a plan at ready.gov/business.
Places, everybody.
Light check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Everything looks good on our end.
And lights.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Here at Sports Extra, we're journalists, so we have to avoid any sort of implicit bias, even when we're playing our rivals.
The Carolina Quidditch team is pretty good.
And as Adam Jordan shows us, maybe it's because a nationally recognized Quidditch referee helps team members understand the rules of the game.
Every Monday and Wednesday night at 10 o'clock, you'll find the UNC Quidditch team at Hooker Fields, practicing chasing, beating, keeping, and seeking. Among the team members, you'll find junior Sam Doughton, utility player, team leader, and the U.S. Quidditch Referee of the Month.
Part of the narrowing down what schools I was applying to is did they have a Quidditch team or not.
One former player saw Doughton's love of the game and knew he had a bright future in the sport.
I had an inquisitive mind. I like to learn things, and I like to learn the rule book and get things down. He's like, oh, you be a good referee.
U.S. Quidditch later called upon Doughton to officiate regional and national competitions.
Apparently I got a bunch of good reviews from that. You get to review your referees after games, and that's the main basis for how they decide the Ref of the Month awards.
Good job, Sam. Doughton gets rave reviews from his teammates as well, just as sophomore beater Gabby Williams.
He knows the rules really well, so whenever we are have a question about the rules in practice, Sam is the man we go to. I'm a certified assistant ref, and I still don't know all of them because there's so many rules in Quidditch.
Describing one of the more confrontational positions in the sport, Williams is no stranger to dealing with referees.
It gets pretty intense, so there's 4 beaters and we're fighting over control. We have 3 dodgeballs, and basically what you want to do is stop the chasers from scoring with the dodgeballs.
There's no doubt that Doughton has earned the respect of both his teammates and the Quidditch community as a whole.
Or you might miss a call here or there, but if you put an effort into it, people are going to respect that. And I think that's what's happened with me at the very least.
And that respect is what recently earned Doughton the U.S. Quidditch Referee of the Month award. In Chapel Hill, I'm Adam Jordan reporting.
The Carolina Quidditch squad heads to Nationals this week to try to earn another trophy for the University of National Champions. But Paul, I'm really curious, have you ever tried Quidditch before?
I actually had a Quidditch video game that I was pretty Quidditch World Cups, so I was pretty good.
That does it for this edition of Sports Extra.
Thanks for watching. Good night.